Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Night Shirt Jeff here on the Monkey Caviar Podcast Network. I'm Tony, your host. With me, as always, Judi Sunshine. Judi, how are you this evening?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How'd you like episode 2 of Gen X versus the Millennials?
It was good. I was sad though because I liked Mari.
Yeah, I liked her too. I thought she was long for the game, but a friend of mine said that she would be the first boot, and he was correct.
Yeah, you said that. I know. I thought of that when she was sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
Neither of our predictions was right.
What was that?
Neither of our predictions came true then. Either.
No. We were both totally wrong. Yeah. So that shows what we know, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this episode got off to a nice start for David. The mousy David finds an idol, starts the fire. He's the king of Gen X right now, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I like him. I think he's a good underdog. I'm rooting for him.
He's teamed up with Ken, the model, and Octopus Hunter.
Yeah.
Who just goes out and slays in the water and then comes back and says, "Oh, I've got more in common with David than anybody." Yeah, we could all see that. Male model and geeky TV writer. Plenty in common, but what an unlikely duo.
It seems like, though, Ken, he's a male model. That's probably good for him because if he did have a speech impediment, he doesn't have to talk to do that. And so it's a way of using his assets without his weaknesses. Yeah, you wouldn't imagine that a male model would have confidence issues. But apparently if you have a speech impediment, that could hinder you. I wish I was as attractive as Ken, but that's not my lot in life. I'm funny. So. But, I like that they're teaming up, and hopefully they do something because I really don't like – all right, here's the thing. I voted – I was so excited when Gen X won the immunity challenge. I was like, yeah. I know.
I was so happy for them.
Too.
And then I realized that, oh, my God, I'm actually voting for this tribe to win because I really, really want to see that the poor pretty people on the Millennials just get broken up. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Taylor is just this surfer idiot, and Biggie is no better. Comparing her to Parv and Cochran is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm holding out judgment for now, but I don't have strong feelings either way about her.
Yeah, I don't want to give her that kind of credit because those people put in, good times. I mean, she's got 2 episodes in, and somebody's making that comparison. That's ridiculous. But who makes out in the camp so that everybody can hear you? That's just dumb, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Because even Rob and Amber weren't doing that. Like, they were cuddling, but they weren't, making out full on. I don't think. Not in front of anybody.
Not really. I mean, and that is, let's face it, that's the greatest Survivor love story ever is Rob and Amber.
Yeah. I think
everyone will agree.
Yeah, everyone.
But yeah, they still didn't make out in front of people. They walked off and cuddled in their own bar off on the beach somewhere. That's fine.
And on the car on their date on the award challenge.
Yeah, but going at it by the fire with Michaela sitting there was certainly stupid.
Yeah.
And it gave me one of my favorite lines was Jay doing his little confession. He's like, no couple has ever lasted in Survivor. And I'm like, all right, there was Rob and Amber. There was Kat and Hayden. There was Val and Jeremy. I can go on. There's plenty of couples that have done well on Survivor.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, that's a little bit hyperbolic.
Yeah, to say that no couple, I mean, Rob and Amber went 1 and 2. That's as good as it gets. Yeah. So.
And he's right, though, that it's not a good move, but he's not accurate.
But that guy, Jay, maybe he's smarter than I'm giving him credit for. Because he does realize that Taylor having this alliance with Piggy is a bad thing for him.
Yeah.
But he's such a bro that every time he tries to say something strategic, he's like, oh, you can't do that, man. It's horrible, bro.
Yeah.
I just find him dumb.
He reminds me of Game of Thrones villain. Like, he looks like a villain from Game of Thrones to me. That's what, last night it was bothering me. I couldn't figure out, because he doesn't look like anybody I know, but he looked like somebody I knew. And I realized that that's what he reminds me of.
So they spent a lot of time on the millennials this week instead of focusing on Gen X. So the edit was pretty giveaway as to which tribe was going to tribal. I thought with as much time as they spent on millennials, there was no way Generation X was going tribal.
Yeah, I thought that from the first scene. I wrote down Dave is safe, clearly based on the first scene, because everyone was talking about how he was next to go. So I'm like, all right, Dave's safe.
I want if I ever go on Survivor, I want every episode to start with everybody going, no, he's going this episode. I am totally safe. I am not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So they do. So they get into this Michaela and Biggie tiff, which I think is hysterical that they end up being. They both vote Mari out.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
All right, so I guess Zeke says that he wants to target Biggie and then Michaela. And Jay runs to Michaela and Biggie and says, look, I know you guys can't work together, but they're going to target you and then you.
Mm-hmm.
And so
that was smart for his part.
It was smart for him, but I don't think it's smart for Michaela. I think Michaela needed to fact check and go back to Zeke and go, look, Jay just said this to me. What the hell? And then you can put Mari and Hannah and Zeke with Michaela, and then you can get Will, deep voice Will, and you can get a majority. Because nobody said, as Mari was pitching ideas all over, she never said, if we form an alliance, the six of us who are not these four beautiful people, we take them out. It's that easy.
Mm-hmm.
And Michaela says, or Will says, we got to get the strategy down. And Michaela says, what strategy? Vote for Biggie. Everybody votes for Biggie. That's the strategy. And it should have been, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that Michelle said she would be an easier vote down the line. So I think Michelle's pulling some strings right now.
Oh, yeah. She knows you don't want to break up her four alliance, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's those four, and everybody else is just, they're just on the outside of it. And I hope Michaela sees that. I really do, because I want her to last a long time. I had big high hopes for Hannah, but she bricked at tribal. And, that was so awkward. Here was the thing. The four beautiful people had Michaela, had Will. That's six. You have the majority. They didn't need Hannah. So everything that went on at tribal was basically not necessary. And that struck me as crazy. Have you ever seen tribal where people were? There's been tribals where they talk, but that openly about like, I'm voting for Mari.
It was interesting. It was good television, though.
It was fantastic TV. Yeah, it was great. I was biting my nails. I was like, whoa, man. Because I thought maybe Hannah was a swing vote. But there was no swing. She didn't, it wasn't a 5-5. I didn't understand why go after her.
Maybe she's thinking endgame with Michelle. Maybe they have like a secret twosome alliance that we're not privy to yet in the audience.
That would be a bold thing to show us next week that we didn't get to see this week when she was asking her for a reason why and she wouldn't give her one.
Right, yeah.
Oh. So that was crazy. Michaela had the best line in one of her confessionals. She was talking about that pulling the rabbit out of the hat. She says, you got to pull the rabbit out of the hat. You can't just walk in with the bunny.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I love that.
Absolutely hysterical. Then we get our first look at Dr. Joe this year.
Yeah, I felt like that's a disconcerting name. Like if my life were in the hands of someone, I kind of would want him to have a more professional name.
Oh,
Dr. Joe.
Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe saves lives.
I don't know how comforting I'd find that.
I don't know how comforting I would feel if my heart was pounding, my hands were numb, and Dr. Joe ran up and said, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Stay in the game. No, get me on the helicopter. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. If we go back to last season when Neil gets a small cut and gets lifted out of the game, they can't give him any antibiotics or ointment. This guy can have a heart attack on the beach. Dr. Joe works miracles. So Kudos. I thought he was going down. I love David's little confessional. Like, this really helps me if he leaves the game.
I know. He's very honest. He's sometimes a little bit meta for me. It's like, okay, we get it. You're a fan of the show. You don't have to compare yourself to Cochran and Ozzy right this second. Like, calm down a little bit there, Dave. Just calm down a little bit. Not a lot, just a little.
You started fire, but that doesn't make you Ozzy. I have yet to see Dave climb a coconut tree.
Yeah. Ozzy's like superhuman. He kind of had an attitude in his last season that made me like him less, but he's pretty much a superhero. The way he climbs trees and goes through the water. He's incredible at water challenges.
He's back next season.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he's on the list.
7 times already.
I know.
Who's he going to hook up with this time?
So Cerise. They're bringing Cerise back. I need to see Cerise play like the 5th time, like I need a kick in the face.
If they brought back
Sandra, the only 2-time winner, is going for a 3rd.
I know.
She's got. If she's not a purse boot, she better be. But let's talk next season.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that was us. That was, like I said, it's just a conversation. So Paul's okay. Dr. Joe gives him the clean bill of health, ready to return to the game after a sip of water and an EKG. And during all this, Purple Lucy, who we didn't hear from yet again, stands there with her resting bitch face. She has a horrible case of resting bitch face. You have to admit it.
Yeah. I would be scared that she'd be mad at me all the time.
She looks like she's just pissed off. Even after we won the challenge, she was just like,
yeah, I know.
Smile once in a while. And I know you women hate it when men tell you to smile, and I get it. It's you're allowed to be. You're women. You're allowed to be emotional. You're allowed to not be happy. I get it. We're stupid. The only reason we say that is because we've got nothing else to say to you. Because nice boobs isn't a nice introduction.
No, but you'd be surprised though. Like working in a bar, you hear sort of it all.
Yeah,
like if you sort of work in a bar in a way though, like doing the trivia.
I do. Well, I have to deal with drunk people, and that's enough.
Yeah.
Being a waitress is worse because I have to. I treat my waitresses well. I hit on my waitresses all the time. The older I get, the more I do it. It's just how it works. So, how'd you feel about the challenge this week? Did you like it?
Yes. I want more challenges like that. That reminded me of like a Final Four challenge almost, in terms of it was like really long and epic, and it was obviously physically super challenging, and I don't think they expected Gen X to win that one. I really don't.
No, I really don't either. I thought it was pretty amazing that Cece dropped her first 2 rings pretty quickly right off the bat after she was not very good getting the rings out of the water. But she did land the first 2 rings, and then Ken came in, and Ken's like a superhero now. I'm really starting to think he is. He catches octopus. He makes David happy. He wins the challenges. Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a good work wife.
And let's see what it says. No love for Gen X. Oh, I says I was really excited when they won, and that shocked me because I don't like anyone on that tribe. I like everybody on the Millennials tribe. I like Zeke. I like Michaela. I like Hannah. On Gen X, except maybe Jessica now that her eye doesn't look all jacked up. But she was invisible this episode too.
She said something that annoyed me, like in an interview on CBS.com, and I don't remember what it was, but she left me with a bad taste in my mouth, and maybe that's not fair though, so I'm trying to keep an open mind. I don't not like anybody this season yet, at least. There are some people I like less than others, but so far it's not like, oh my god, I really can't stand this person. Like even the ones being painted as more villainous at the moment.
I can't stand Taylor. I can't. I get it. He's dreamy with his big blue eyes and his.
He's not my thing, no.
Oh my god,
he does have pretty eyes. I agreed with Figgy on that, but he's not my thing. Like he's someone I would totally probably be friends with. I don't know. Sometimes he seems like a Colorado snowboarder guy, which I'm cool with. Other times he seems like just too brotastic. And I can't quite figure out which one wins out. So I'm keeping an open mind, but
He reminds me of an LA bro.
yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah, I don't like him.
Okay. And sometimes, I mean, yeah, he seems it's because his energy is so positive, and normally I like people like that, especially like I've met a lot of guys like that in my life, and I tend to be friends with them. But then he says other things where it's like, or are you like a frat dude that I really wouldn't hang out with?
So who would be your man if you had to pick one? You can choose from either tribe. Which one would be the closest to the man you would pick?
You mean like dating?
Allowed. Yeah. I mean, like dating.
I don't want to give you
that. You're engaged and whatnot. But.
Yeah. But in theory, I don't want to give you dead air, but I haven't given this one any thought. Usually,
I know, love doing that.
Let me think about that one and get back to you.
All right. Well, we'll hit it up at the end.
Dead space. Because I like theoretical questions. They're fun.
I think that the let's see, what does it say? I think they're trying to play the voting blocks kind of game from Second Chance more than an alliance game because, like I said, Mari never said with all these people that she could have gotten an alliance with against the beautiful four. She never the word never came out, and that surprised me. So I think she thinks maybe the voting blocks thing is still the fashion, but I don't know that that's going to help in the end. What do you think?
I don't know. And with Mari, I feel like, because I can really relate to this, so maybe I'm just projecting, but knowing what she does for a living and what she said about it's different behind a screen and when you see people in their eyeballs, and I think she just maybe wasn't prepared for all of the face-to-face interaction, because I think if she was playing it like online, she would have rocked it out. No. She seems really smart. But I liked also that's why I think it was Michelle said that she needed to go because she was really smart. So even though it sucks to get voted out, it's always better to get voted out because you're a threat just for your own ego. Yeah,
Michelle definitely turned this vote. If this vote was on Figgy at the beginning, it was Michelle that did the work to turn it. So
yeah,
if anybody's getting the Parvati comparison, it's Michelle. She turned Hannah at Tribal. I mean, sitting there just saying, I'll tell you later. She made Hannah change her vote.
Yeah.
Hannah walked in there, going to write down Piggy's name, and that would have put only 4. But again, 4. They didn't have the numbers because no one said alliance.
Yes.
So I think that's where her fellow play where it falls apart.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of delay hearing you, so I'm trying to if I seem a little confused.
It happens. We're going really, really fast too, by the way.
Oh.
We're almost at the end of the episode. We've been on for 20 minutes.
I think that...
So, we're already Tribal.
I think Figgy gets compared to Parvati just because she's a hot girl who's not a dumbass. A lot of times and I say hot with a grain of salt because, again, I'm talking traditional standards. But, a lot of times the young, hot girls they cast are kind of just bland or downright dumb. And so I think the Parvati comparison comes from that she seems sharp. And she's flirty, but she's not shallow seeming per se.
Right. She actually has a game plan.
Yeah.
Which is more than, somebody what was her name? What was her name? Dara.
That's
the grave digger who was on Brains, Brawn, and Beauty. She was from the South. But yeah, she had no clue what she was doing in the game. But she lasted till jury. Hannah can last till jury. I think Michelle is out before jury.
If they're smart.
I really do. If they're smart, if they're smart, they'll get rid of her quick. But I think Will is like a lock for the jury right now. I think everybody loves Will.
How could you not? He's so sweet.
I know, he's so great.
Then whenever they cast the little boy survivors, they always remind me of my brother. my baby brother, so I always have a soft spot. Like him and Spencer, they always remind me of my brother.
Yeah, I think it'd be very tough at 18 to go out there and play that game.
Dude, I thought that was funny when Michaela said somebody's getting his GED.
Yeah. He's a pretty bright kid, and it takes a lot of. I don't have the mental. I don't want to say the mental age, but I don't have the wisdom to play this game. I can't control my emotions enough to play this game. Everything I say would be all over my face, and I'd be voted out really quick. Because I'm opinionated, and it wouldn't work. That's why I've never played Big Brother. That's why I love these games, because I can't play them.
Right.
And it just drives me crazy because I want to so badly. I want to play Big Brother.
Yeah.
But I know I would be horrible at it.
Maybe you'd surprise yourself.
I would love to play a game of Survivor where everyone was over 40.
That could be fun. I would like to play Cold Survivor.
You would like to play what?
Survivor in the cold. Because I like the cold.
No, pass. I'll pass. I want bikinis. Sorry.
I applied.
I got to be stuck on an island. I don't want to be Iceland.
I applied in 2004, but they never called me.
Just for Survivor? Well, it's all Big Brother, I guess, but it's all CBS reality anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know people that have applied for Survivor and got cast on Big Brother.
Oh, really? So, interesting. I don't know if I could play Big Brother. I think I'd get too annoyed. I don't know.
Oh,
maybe it would be better.
Possible. Very possible. Big Brother would annoy me because...
What?
Kids in Big Brother that would annoy me. The constant need to be giggly and stupid and just can't just enjoy silence.
Yeah.
Ooh, forget it. Pass. Says the guy who demands that you're never silent when we're on podcast. But
no. No, Daddy.
So it looks like, according to we're gonna rock this out in about a half hour. Killer.
We'll find out.
It doesn't have to be long. Next week, it looks like we're going to have a small kind of swap.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it's... I assume it's going to be draw rocks from a bag, and 2 or 3 people from each tribe will swap places. I would like to see the foursome broken up, of course. That would be... Yeah. The best scenario, because I think if anybody comes over and 2 of the other people are gone and the foursome stays strong, they're walking sticks over there. So I hope that doesn't happen. I don't think
they're going to stay strong. I don't really see them as a tight alliance. I see them as a group of people that are using each other, which is what an alliance is. But I don't know. Like, I really, really, really think Michelle is using Figgy as a distraction from her own kind of alpha hotness, young woman in the game kind of deal. I think she's using Figgy as a shield.
Yeah, she's a shield, absolutely. She used the couple as a shield. That's, for her, it makes sense to keep Figgy and Taylor in the game. But if this messes them up in any way, if Michelle and, let's say, Michelle and Will end up going over to Gen X, then those 3 aren't as strong, and they're certainly not as strong as Michelle goes. If Figgy goes, I think they'll be all right because Michelle will still keep it together.
Yeah.
But Michelle leaving them would absolutely destroy that alliance, and I think it would give Michaela the push she needs to really step up and bring these 2 new people in, or however many there's going to be, and put them together with Hannah and say, all right, now alliance time, alliance. So let's get these pretty people out of here, and then us, the Misfits. I love the Misfits. I always do.
Me too.
So when you can rally the Misfits is the greatest strategy in any game.
Yes.
Big Brother, it doesn't matter. Rally the Misfits, because it's going to be a core group of pretty people. They've done it since high school. It's conditioned. They're gonna flock to their own and be like, oh, you were a cheerleader? Oh, you were a football player? Okay. And then people that read the comics and that play chess and read books are going to be over there plotting their demise. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah. I was a cheerleader though, but it was a small school and we were nice cheerleaders. We weren't mean. But I was also a dork.
Well, that's what makes us, incredibly happy with our lives now. That we are dorks and we get it. I
Yeah,
accept my geek totem and I run with it as best I can.
absolutely.
Uh,
And my
I have
like
my
I
own
know.
Iron Throne.
I know. That's awesome. I love that I have like 2 people in my message section on Facebook and each profile picture is sitting in that throne. You and my friend Chad.
That's
Also,
awesome.
like, oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
we got those taken. We got those taken. They had an Iron Throne of Bonnaroo one year, and me and my girlfriend both have pictures in the Iron Throne. But
That's
she
so
won't
cool.
put hers up when mine's up, and vice versa. Though I'll put mine up anytime. I don't care. All right, so let's look back, or let's look forward to next week and look into our crystal ball, and again, let's miss who's going home.
let's
So,
let's miss. What? I'm
oh
sorry.
yeah, we're gonna miss. So who do you think is
Oh,
gonna go home next week?
each tribe
Let's
from
do
each
each
tribe.
tribe. Sure, sure.
I'm
Oh, we
gonna
got nothing but time here.
I'm gonna vote Figgy again, just because I think it's a matter of time. I could be wrong. I was wrong this week, but I'm gonna like stick with her. And then Gen X, I'm gonna say
Let's stick with who? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Figgy on Millennials, just because they have to break up that couple. If they don't, they don't. But that's my vote for now. How
Right?
about you?
I want Lucy to go because I'm tired of looking at her resting bitch face. It's a waste of a vote, but if it's Gen X, if David and Ken can flip it, then kudos to them. I don't want to see David sent to the other tribe where he'd have to play his idol there. That wouldn't be good. I'd rather see him get out in the Gen X alliance, separated from David. That could change some things. So the shakeup is big, but I'm gonna say go home next week.
Who? Sorry, you're breaking up again. I can't hear you.
Paul, bearded Santa, the heart attack man is going home.
That's my vote too for Gen X.
Yeah.
And
That's
who's your vote for
pretty good.
Millennials? Who's your
Are you
vote for
not happy
Millennials?
with that?
What? No, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you were breaking up a little. I didn't hear
Yeah,
who
we
you
both are.
Millennials.
All right.
Oh, I am too?
Yeah, we both are. It's letting over here. Something must be going on. I know the other podcast was having troubles tonight too.
Really? Maybe
Yeah.
it's the site.
Yeah. So we'll just wrap it up early tonight. Call it a half-hour show. We can do that because we have no bosses.
Okay.
So we got through the episode. We'll be back next Tuesday night to talk about more Survivor.
It wasn't
episode
very
3.
eventful. It wasn't a very,
It really wasn't. Yeah, it was a pretty straightforward episode. It was quick. Next week we'll have a little bit more with hopefully with the swapping of people, and we'll have a little more to talk about.
Yeah.
So, all right. Until then, folks, have a good night. Trust many, or love many, trust few, and do harm to no one.
Yes.